Welcome to the Wolfram Language in Section 14 of Fast Introduction for Programmers. This section is about graphics, including a few plotting functions and the basic system used for building up arbitrary images. The Wolfram Language includes a broad collection of functions for plotting data. For example, here is the listLinePlot function, shown here plotting a list of numbers. And there are, of course, many other ways to display data. Here's a bar chart of that same data with labels for the bars. There are also functions for plotting data other than lists of numbers. For example, here is a plot of a mathematical graph, which means a plot of a network of vertices and of edges that connect the vertices. The graph itself is represented as a list of rules showing all of the edges in the graph. It's sometimes useful to go ahead and add labels for the vertices, which can be done with the vertex labels option. There are, of course, many other types of data and much more elaborate ways of plotting data, and there are built-in functions in the Wolfram language for essentially all common types of data plots. In addition to using the built-in plotting functions, another way of creating images is by constructing them from basic elements like lines and text and geometrical shapes. To demonstrate how that system works, here is an input that draws a disk centered at coordinates 0, 0. This sets the color of that disk. This adds a second disk centered at a different point and with a different color. You can also use the style function to build up an image like this. The style function is used by giving the graphics primitives, those are the geometrical shapes, and then the style specifications like the color. The effect is the same as the previous input, but using the style function is often more convenient for controlling the styles of each part of an image. Plotting and graphics functions have hundreds of options. For example, this input uses options to add a frame and grid lines to that image. That's the end of the examples for this section. The basic graphic system is really pretty simple. A good way to learn more is to choose Wolfram Documentation under the Help menu to bring up the Documentation Center page, click the Visualization and Graphics button, and then select any of the items from the menu that comes up. For example, choosing Symbolic Graphics Language brings up this page of links to information about building up arbitrary images from graphics primitives. And here is a page of links to various functions for plotting data. The possibilities are basically endless, and the best way to learn about it is to go ahead and try it out for yourself.